Hi guys and dolls, how are you? I hope you are well. Okay, so as you see, I haven't been making that many videos because if there isn't enough interest, then I don't bother. Okay, that's just the way it's going to be. That's just the way it is. It's always been that way. Um, if there's a specific topic that someone wants me to talk about, all they have to do is request it in a video that I've already done, or in this video, under this video, and I will address that particular topic. Otherwise, there really isn't any incentive to do videos. And although I've got a couple of subscribers, they don't bother watching my videos anyway, except for just a few of them. So, whatever. Um, and I appreciate those of you who are constant supporters. I don't take you for granted. You're special, and you know that. Okay? I'm a little warm, so like that's something new. Anyway, so this is what's happening. I gained a friend and I lost a friend. I gained a guy friend, believe it or not. We met on a dating site. Maybe there will be more in the future other than friendship. I don't know. My walls are as high as Hoover Dam because I've just been through so much bullshit in the past with other individuals. And I'm just exhausted with the shit. So my walls are very, very, very high. It is almost impossible for someone to get past my walls. But who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? Okay, so that's one person that I gained as a friend. Someone I lost almost simultaneously is someone who is a female friend, quotation mark friends. We've been friends for probably a couple of years, year and a half. I don't really know how long it's been. Her son's crazy about me. I'm crazy about her son, crazy about her. We loved each other. We were like family, or so I thought. Um, we were always there for each other. She donated money to me to help with training with my dog, Milo, and I really appreciate that. But she has a history of severe toxicity in the family. Um, all of her relationships are toxic. There's one person in her family, one person in particular in her family, who wasn't there when she had breast cancer. If I had a family member or a friend who was not there when, God forbid, I should have some type of cancer, the person wasn't there for me, I would never speak to them again. Here I have a disease that could kill me, and you're just lackadaisically going through your life without a care in the world. So screw you. That's just how I roll. Some people are the exact opposite. They cling to people who treat them like shit. They have empathy and compassion for people who treat them like shit. They have love for people who treat them like shit. The worse you treat them, the tighter they feel to you, the closer they feel to you. I am not the type of person who will lose my soul and become a hateful, insensitive bitch because that's what you're used to. If that's what's going to make you feel closer to me, I guess we're done. Peace out. So she had been chasing this guy who he used her for a continual booty call ever since she was 19 years old, and she's in her 30s now. He used her as a perpetual booty call. He never took her on dates. He was not going to spend his money. He did the same thing that Hippie did. I'm not going to spend my precious money because you're a piece of shit. You're not worth it. You could wet my dick, but that's as far as our connection goes. That's how some men act. Man children. That's how they act. Um, and unfortunately, and this is addressed to ladies, if you've got lady friends who have had a history of toxicity, there may be a time, regardless of your history, and you're a good person and you're caring and you care about them and they supposedly care about you, there may be a point in time, especially if they're accustomed to chasing after toxic people, the more they get treated like crap, the more they love this person. I've been through this shit with another person before. She loves her drughead daughter, but she has a problem with gay people. You need to worry about your daughter and all the problems that she's caused in the family. In addition to, she tried to ruin your marriage. That's what you need to freaking focus on instead of worry about who's gay and who's not. You got bigger fish to fry. Anyway, move right along. So don't change who you are because that person prefers you to be an asshole to them. You are going to have to cut them loose, or they will end up cutting you loose because you are not toxic enough. Let me repeat that. Sometimes in life, you will be cut loose because you are not toxic enough. And that person has a connection to sick, toxic, dysfunctional people. The more people use them up, the tighter they bond to that person. So don't change who you are. Stay who you are. This person texted me today and said, I'm going through a lot right now and I'm not in a position to have friends. So I wish you the best of luck. And our friendship was nice. Nice? She was planning to visit me and I was going to open up my home to her. I don't like people in my house. I'm just keeping it real. I don't like people in my damn house. That's my private space. So if I'm willing to let you come to my home, that's a big deal because my home is not open to the community. Okay? So sometimes in life you lose a friend and you gain another friend. You will get dumped because you are not toxic enough. So if you look at it from the perspective of actually, it hurts because I did care about her. But at the same time, it's flattering because I'm not toxic. I'm not toxic enough. I'm not dysfunctional enough. So that is a good thing, right? Because she only connects to people who are hateful. That will never make sense to me. As long as I live, that'll never make sense to me. It just won't. Okay? Yeah. So, moving on to other topics. I had to fire Milo's trainer. Milo is my dog. He's an Ossador, Australian Shepherd and Lab mix. He is going on, May will be 5 months old. Okay? So he's 4 months now, going on 5. His trainer is cocky, arrogant. He deliberately overcomplicates the training so that when you don't get it or you make a mistake, he can get very dramatic and go, we're talking about this for the 4th time. I have PTSD. So when I deal with men who are toxic and abusive, it triggers me into PTSD mode. And I was very triggered by him. He has made a comment about my boobs. The reason you can't do this position with him, with the dog, is because your boobs are getting in the way. That is inappropriate and unprofessional. I guess I'm so used to men being nasty like that I'm not really shocked. I kind of freeze and ignore it. Just let it slide right off my back. I don't like confrontations with people. I know my mouth and I know my anger can go to epic proportions. So I would rather ignore what you said because if I don't, I'm going to be extremely hateful. So, and I really don't like that side of me. So I just tend to pretend you didn't say it. Made another comment at another point about, what was it? When he bites you or nips at you, you got to say, ow, like that. I want you to pretend, this is what he said, I want you to pretend that somebody ran up behind you and pinched you on your butt. Why was it necessary to go there? I mean, again, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I was getting to the point where I hated having sessions with him. I hated seeing him. He made a comment a few weeks ago that was inappropriate. Well, of course, right? He said, give me a minute. He said, talking about my dog, he has such little respect for you. That stung. Um, my dog isn't deliberately um, being hateful towards me. He is genetically, which the trainer admitted that some dogs are genetically more aggressive than other dogs, which is what's going on with him. He's calming down to some degree, but we still have work to do. Um, I know how to curb the aggression. So that's the most important thing that I needed to get out of the training was curbing Milo's aggression. I'm getting a lot more kisses from him. He wants to be close to me, especially if he's tired. He wants to lay on me. Um, Not too bad for a dog who don't have respect for me, right? When we're out and about in the woods or outside, he's always checking on me, turning around and looking at me to see what our next move is. So he's looking at me to guide him, which is good. So we are making progress, but it was so insulting. And then the last, good Lord, bear with me. The last session, which was last Monday, trying to find something to wipe my face with, and I don't have anything right now. Last Monday, Milo was Milo was pinging off the walls. What I mean by that is he was hyper as hell. Hyper. Defiant, hyper, growly. When he gets excited, he growls. He's not growling because he's going to attack you or kill you. He's growling because he's excited. He snatched him up and yanked him so hard that he yelped in pain. And then Milo laid on his back and submitted to him. And he yelled at him and said, "You better submit." And he basically went off on my dog. That was it. That was it. I said, I'm done with this. This isn't for me. This isn't my thing. I don't want nothing to do with this. And I basically terminated our supposedly professional relationship. I fired him. I shouldn't dread seeing you. That's like a massive red flag. The sexual comments are unnecessary and uncomfortable. You know, he deliberately makes the training a lot harder than it has to be because he wants to come off when you miss, like I said, if you miss something or you forget something or you didn't quite understand, you interpreted it your way instead of what he wanted it to be. He gets really huffy and puffy and sits on his throne and tells you how wrong you are. I said, this isn't my thing. And he goes, I can tell. He also made a comment that all of his clients on Mondays are the worst. So I eventually texted him because I don't want to. I know my mouth. Like I said, I know my temper. And if I confront you and you say something off the wall, I'm going to fucking rip you up. I'm going to tear you up like a great white shark. So I try to avoid even going there. I know my temper. Okay. So I try not to have confrontations with people because I will say something that is extremely hateful and I won't feel sorry for it about it. So I try not to even get to that point. I said something about, oh God, I can't even remember now. Something about you you're not a good person, and these are, this is what's wrong with you. You don't know how to train people. Just because you have the knowledge in your head, that doesn't mean you automatically have good people skills. And you're blaming it on your clients, when in reality it's because you don't know how to teach people, and you don't know how to connect to them. You don't know how to teach, you don't know how to teach them properly. So maybe you need to take a good hard look at yourself and find out why you can't connect to other people, and why you can't teach them, and why you deliberately complicate things so that you could come out feeling more superior to them. And thank God I don't have to see you again. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. But I felt better when I said that. I really did. Um, it wasn't really for him, it was for me. And I also said it's a good thing you're not accepting new clients, because you're not you don't know how to teach people. There are people who are highly knowledgeable, and they have no idea how to relay that information in a way that people can be receptive to it. So, um, didn't apologize when he made Milo yelp in pain. He didn't apologize. He didn't say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I think I was a little rough there." I think another thing is, one of my friends kept saying, um, he's all about the money. And I said, he's about the power too. He's power tripping. He gets off on the fact that he knows so much and you don't. He gets off on the fact that he has to force dogs, make them obey him. That feeds his ego. So he's a 100% government approved asshole. So I'm done with him. We're done. Um, so there's been a lot of changes lately. And that's just the way it is. Life is like a river. It's got all kinds of twists and turns, and nobody knows what's around the next corner. Um, if somebody dumps you because you're not a bad person, please don't take that personally. Um, that's more about them than it is about you. Okay? That has a lot more to do about them than it has to do with you. And when a person doesn't have enough love for themselves to make people treat them better, when you don't have enough love for yourself, you're going to chase after people who don't love you, because you're going to constantly try to make them love you. That never works, by the way. It never works. If they never loved you, they're never going to love you. But some people are convinced that they don't deserve to be loved, so they deliberately put themselves in dysfunctional relationships, whether it's with exes or family members or whoever. They prefer to be ignored when they have cancer. That person loves me because they ignored me and I could die. It's fucking retarded, but that's what they do. Um, she was chasing after a guy who had no respect for her. I had another friend who dropped me. She just ghosted me after we've been friends for over a year. I don't really know how long it was, because she went chasing after a guy who she caught him cheating on her. And when she had to go to the bathroom real bad in the car, she had to go real bad. They were going down the highway. He deliberately drove by bathrooms to make sure that she had to suffer. And she went chasing after him. So if somebody's so dysfunctional that they prefer sickness over you, consider yourself, they did you a favor, because there's nothing that you're going to say out of their mouth that's going to give them an aha moment. And I also gave this person a link to professional therapy. Coaching is not going to help this person, okay? Coaching is not going to help them. They need a professional to help them. And she refused to go to therapy because she's had a terrible therapist in the past, and that was her justification. I said, well, yeah, therapists are no better than everybody else or anybody else, because they've got problems too. But you need to find someone who has minimum problems, and they don't allow their personal problems to interfere with their job. That's what you need to find, somebody with minimum problems. So anyway, she refused to do it, and used the previous bad experience to justify not trying therapy now. You know what? Hey, I can't help someone who doesn't love themselves, and I can't help someone who doesn't love themselves enough to get therapy. If you want to stay sick, that's your choice. I'm dead to you. Lose my number. Hey, I just said when she said she didn't, basically the friendship was nice. I just said okay. Blocked her from everything, blocked her from my channel. I'm dead to you. That's one thing that you learn when, and it's going to sound bad, but I'm just keeping it real. If you could cut off your parents, you could cut off anybody. Because your parents are your flesh and blood, and they were supposedly the first people that cared about you, which never happened. They never did care about me. So if you could cut them off, you could cut off anybody. I don't care if I have 5 years being friends with you, 10 years, 20 years. You act like a fucking asshole, and you want to cut me loose? Bye. Will I be hurt? Yes. Will I block you out of my phone within 15 to 20 minutes? You damn skippy. I will block you everywhere possible. There will be no way in hell you could get in touch with me. And if you send me a letter in the mail, if you have my address, which she doesn't, I'll rip it up. When I see it's from you, I'll rip it up, and I have nothing else to say. I want to read what you have to say. I don't give a shit. When you want to cut strings, baby, I make sure we cut strings all the way around the board. Your wish is my command. I don't beg nobody to be close to me. If you don't want to, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, in the crack on the way out. I got time for this shit. Life's too goddamn short to be dealing with dysfunctional fucked upness. I'm done. So anyway, y'all be cool like ice cubes. If somebody dumps you because you're not sick, you're not toxic, you're not a fuck up, that's a blessing. They did you a favor because they don't want to get better anyway. They want to remain sick. A couple of my guy friends said, because I have mostly guy friends now, one of them said, oh, she's going through something right now and she may want to get in contact with you later. You know what? Let me explain something to y'all. Let me make something crystal clear. If you could dump me once, you can dump me twice. I won't give you a second opportunity. So before you make that move, before you make that choice, you better make god dang sure that that's what you want to do. Because once those words come out of your mouth, I'm cutting ties. I don't care what we've been through. I don't give a shit if we went through a near-death experience together. I don't give a shit if we had a fucking plane crash and we both survived it and all we had was each other. If you want to be done with me, bye. I'll cut your ass free. Okay? So I'm not going to give you a second opportunity to kick me in the teeth. If you want to be done, we're done. And it's a permanent thing. And if you change your mind later, tough tits. I don't give a shit. Okay? So you better think twice before you make that move. Anyway, love you guys. Take care. And hopefully your life is going better than mine. I'm having all these twists and turns. Like I said, I have a new friend. We're planning to do some adventures in the future. He's got a boat at the Lake of the Ozarks. So we're probably going to, him and his son actually built this boat, which is really cool. And there will be some adventures in the future. So we shall see what happens. Anyway, you guys take care. Talk to you later. Bye.